Hello everyone. As you can probably guess from the title of this video, we are returning to the viewer-made malware series. This time we have the DeepUnder worm from Toxoid49b, and this is a full-fledged email worm written in VB6, and it has a bunch of different payloads that are all reminiscent of a lot of the stuff that I've taken a look at on this channel. It's really cool, and thank you very much for writing this and sending it in. And since it is an email worm, we are going to infect this computer by receiving an infected email. So we'll go ahead and do that. So here we go. We have an email from RogueAmp telling us that he's unable to reply to our email, and if we need our questions answered right away, please refer to the attached document. So we get a nice info.txt.exe. We'll go ahead and save that to the desktop. And we'll take a look at the contacts that this worm will attempt to spread to. So we got John McAfee, Onel de Guzman. I don't really know how to pronounce that, sorry. I'm sure I messed it up. David Smith, and of course Donald Trump. I'm gonna go ahead and run the worm. And since Outlook really does not like you attempting to send emails in this way, it warns us every single email that something is attempting to send this. So we have to press yes every few seconds in order for it to actually send. If I could go to the outbox, we could see that it is sending the same messages. So since it does this for every single contact, it's a little tedious and a little noticeable, but we're never too worried about that on these videos. We're just worried about what the malware ends up doing. We can see here that it sent the same messages. So if we look at John McAfee, it's the same exact message as we just received. We've sent it now to him. And it pops up with an error message, which is fake, telling us unable to decompress message info.txt, file contains garbage data. Aborting. So we press OK, and now the worm has infected our system. We can see it deleted the original executable right there. Go ahead and exit out. Alright, now it's time to look at some of the payloads that DeepUnder features. And this first one activates on January 1st, and if you are sensitive to flashing lights at a fairly rapid pace, I would suggest not looking at this one and joining us again in about 30 seconds when we switch to the next payload. So we're going to go ahead and change the date to the 1st, which immediately starts flashing colors, saying unfortunately for you, Win9x does not support window transparency, so I cannot let you work today. And yeah, it's pretty accurate. It won't let you really do anything. However, I don't know if this is intentional or not. You can end the process in Task Manager and get back to work. The next payload we're going to take a look at happens on April 1st, and we're going to go ahead and just restart here and see what it does. So the computer boot as usual, and we can see it's trying to send emails again. We'll just say no. But now every single window, including the start menu, slowly scrolls to the right. So if we launch MS Paint, same thing happens. Move it around, we get some nice trails of where it has been. And one thing I found that was cool is that as it's doing this, you can move the mouse up and down, and you can draw a really crappy sine wave. And yeah, so this happens. It's pretty neat. If we let the window go off to the side here, eventually it will scroll back around and come out the left side. We can see with multiple windows, they all do it. There's Paint, it's back. We can draw our sine waves again. Wow, this one's extra crappy this time. But anyway, my favorite part of this is when you go to the shutdown dialog box, this whole thing scrolls with it. We're going to go ahead and cancel. We're going to change the date to the next payload, which happens on May 31st, and then we will restart the computer. And now there we go. We get little black boxes with a single character randomly selected in it, which begin appearing everywhere on top of our desktop or any other windows. And these are always on top. We can't. Can we refresh? No, we can't refresh to get them out of here. And eventually, after there are 128 boxes on the screen, it will stop putting them on the screen, where they will just remain until the day is no longer May 31st. So we're still getting a few. Should stop soon. Alright, I think it stopped. But now you get to deal with this on your screen, which is always fun. Next up is July 15th. This one is actually a reference to another old worm that I've tested. If you can tell me what it is in the comments, you'll get a star or something, a cookie, I don't know. So, as soon as we boot this time, get a message in Comic Sans saying, "Make a fool of oneself, what a foolish thing you have done. Hello stupid user, today is National Get Outside Day in Canada. I would have picked something more popular, but all the other dates coincided with other payload dates, so this will have to do. I don't even live in Canada. This was a really crappy idea, what am I doing with my life?" Etc, etc. Ends with grab the bleach, get right into the news, and have fun outside. Please help me, I have no friends. And when we press OK, we are just left with this black box that does not allow us to do anything, but like the flashing color payload, we can simply end the process to get around that. Next up activates on October 1st, which is a special day to me for sort of obvious reasons. If you don't get it, just look at the end of my name. Desktop background has been changed to be my icon with the dust mite with the sunglasses, because he might be cool. Anyway, other than this, it also changes the Internet Explorer homepage to my website, which is currently just my forums. So this is where you go if you want to submit your own viewer-made malware that might be made into a video. But I don't have internet set up on this machine because I currently have it set up to the network so that I could actually receive the infected email at the start of this video. That about wraps it up for this payload. Next time we need to change is to October 28th. And then there's just a couple more dates after this one, so we're getting there, we're almost done. Okay, so we've booted on the 28th, and now we get a pretty entertaining payload. We can hear it dinging right now. That's because it's actually attempting to type something. However, it also changes all window titles extremely rapidly. So even Recycle Bin, I've got Magister in there because I was using this virtual machine to test Magister quite a while ago. Oops, okay, I don't know what we just ran, but since it's typing things, it's doing whatever it wants. If we go into here, we can see that it's typing "Happy birthday, Billy Gates, please make Windows 99" over and over every half second. So this is pretty irritating, and once again, I don't think we're going to be able to change the date unless we can stop this from happening. It would be nice if the computer wasn't frozen. There we go. But it's always trying to change to September, unfortunately, due to the string that it's typing. So we're gonna go ahead and task manager and kill the worm, which will let us change the date to June 11th, which is actually fairly damaging. No worm would be complete without a damaging payload, and this one is no exception. So we're gonna go ahead and close all this crap out and restart. As we boot on the 11th, we get a few more email prompts, and now the hard disk begins spinning constantly, and eventually we should see the desktop fill up, similar to Maldol. There we go. Uh-oh, worm. DeepUnder worm by Toxoid49B. Thanks for all the good times, but now it's time for me to go. Be sure to tell your twice-removed aunt that you're sorry for sending her a computer worm. My work here is done. See you next time. So we got 666 copies of worm.exe, each with a slightly incremented name. And we're going to take a look at one last payload. Actually, there's some other stuff I didn't take a look at yet. As we can see, our start menu has been fundamentally altered here. We no longer have a run command. The Windows key on our keyboard is disabled, if I actually had one. I'm using a Model M right now, so I don't. but we cannot see our drives in my computer, and even if we could see them, we can't actually access the contents of any drive. So this payload is really similar to Win32 Gruel, which has been fairly popular on this channel. It does a lot of stuff with this, where it edits the registry in order to modify privileges related to window control. So this also disables Alt-Tab, Windows Update, the Remove Folder Options menu. Yep, Folder Options menu is gone. I didn't know that. Disallows extension renaming, however, I think we can get around that, because I've done it before. Disables Control Panel, Run Dialog, My Documents folder. My document seems like it's working for me. Maybe that's only on Windows NT. But anyway, we're going to take a look at one last payload, for which we need some files with dummy extensions. So we need PowerPoint, make a VBS, Word document, and let's see, what else do we need here? We'll make an MP3. Basically, this worm is going to look for these file types on the desktop exclusively, and a GIF. So hopefully you are practicing good computer habits and you're not storing all of your important files on the desktop, because otherwise you would have a pretty bad time with this. This payload activates June 6th, 2006 at 6:06? Yeah, 6:06:06 a.m. Of course. If numwalk was on, that would help. Actually make you 6:05, and we're going to restart right now. Oh, I can't remove the shutdown menu, so we're going to hit Control-Alt-Delete twice. I don't know where my renamed files went, so we're just going to rename a couple of these really quick before it hits 6:06:26. MP3 VBS. Okay. Now we can change the date and make it the right time. We'll make it 24. Is it 26? 6:06:06, my bad. There we go. It did it anyway. So anyway, we get a message from another virus. A human god that was man-made. Where is your savior now? And we press OK on that, and it deletes all the files of all the file types that it's looking for that are on the desktop. So fairly destructive, pretty annoying. After this June 11th payload activates, you really can't do much on your computer. And that's really about it for DeepUnder. This swarm is pretty cool. I really like this one. Thank you very much to Toxoid49B for sending this one in and writing it, of course. If you'd like to get your own malware potentially featured in one of these videos, please check out the links in the description and read the rules for submitting your own stuff on the forums if you register there. And I get a lot of questions asking what's the answer to the secret question, the spam bot defeating method on the forum registration. Basically, it's just my YouTube username backwards. So that is the name of the site backwards. So hope to see you there, hope to see a lot of cool stuff, and that is about it. Thank you for watching.